Hello everybody and welcome back finally to Farming Simulator 22. Yes, welcome back to the channel. After a long break, I have finally returned and decided to jump back in to creating some videos. Now, if you're in my Discord server, then you have kind of seen hints here and there that I'll be coming back with some content. Well, here I am, I guess, right? So I figured with the new premium expansion or premium edition dropping for Farm Sim with a new map and some new crops and productions and stuff like that, I figured why not go ahead and jump back in at this time. So yeah, that's what we have done, and this is what's the name of Zielonka? That's the name. Yeah, so it is a Polish inspired map. I'm assuming with giants, like always, it's a fictional place, but inspired by, uh, wherever a location is. So a Polish map, nice change. And we are here at the store. Now, the starting farm is typically right over there. As you can see, everything is gone. And that is because I am going to take a different route. Route. How do you say it? Route or route? Sometimes I say it one way and sometimes I say it the other. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, so I'm going to take a different path on a start on this map. Now, the majority of content creators that you see out there, mainly the bigger names and whatnot, are doing, just your typical showcase of the new map and all that, and all the new equipment. So they start with the typical starting farm and starting equipment. If you have followed my channel for quite a while, then you know that I don't like to start that way. I like to start with absolutely nothing and make everything as difficult as possible for myself. Just saying that out loud really makes me wonder, what am I doing? Anyways, so we are here at the store. I'll go ahead and turn the HUD back on. Just kidding. I will not turn the HUD back on. Oh boy. Why can I not turn the HUD back on? Let's go into our settings and make sure. Oh, because for some reason that has changed back to that. Save controls. There we go. Alright, there we go. Alright, so as you can see up here, we have a new currency. Now, this is not base game. Alright, this is the additional currencies mod available in the mod hub. I'm assuming it's just for PC because it is kind of like a script mod, I suppose. But yeah, I don't. Anyways, if it's available for console, yeah. But this is Zloty or Złote. I'm probably butchering that. I've heard it pronounced both ways, but even then, I feel like I'm butchering that. Anyways, it's Polish currency, is what it is. So that's what we're going to be running here. And I was doing some math the other day, or last night actually, when I was kind of planning out this series on the conversion between U.S. currency and Poland currency, and it was like a U.S. dollar is like 4.14 over there, four zloty. I feel like I'm saying that wrong. Anyways, yeah. So yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, that's what we're doing. If like I said, if you have followed my channel for any amount of time, then you know I like to make things as realistic as possible, and I like to go with authenticity, with different areas, depending on the map. So like this is a Polish map, we're gonna have Polish currency. We're also gonna be doing, if we go into the, where is it? You can see I have a bunch of mods installed. I'll get into the mods here in just a second. What was I looking for? I was looking for something. I was going to say something, but I forgot. Oh, yes. Yes, I know. Settings. Is it this one? No. I believe it's this one, yes. There it is. Okay. Seasonal growth on, we're doing 3-day months. Fixed visual month off, of course, because I like to see the season change, and snow is on. Crop destruction is going to be on. Periodic plowing is going to be on. Field stones, I'm turning off because if you enjoy doing field stones, there's something wrong with you. I'm sorry, but there is. And you should go see a doctor. I'm just kidding. But seriously. Anyways, field stones, I don't like field stones, so I'm not doing field stones. If I need limestone, I'll just go buy some. Simple as that. Weeds, and plus, like, you don't make a whole lot off of the stones anyways, if you just sell them straight. Anyways, weeds is going to be on. We got fast dirt, automatic engine off, blah, blah, blah. Fuel usage is high, and I have some other mods. So realistic fueling, so the rate of the flow at the pumps is going to be slowed down to a more realistic rate. And I also have a increased fuel usage mod installed to go on top of this high fuel usage setting that's available base game. And that's just to add a little bit more realism on the fuel consumption and refueling in, you know, in real life. I've always felt like it was just not very realistic, I guess, base game. So, yeah. We're not going to allow any of the AI to buy anything. We got Tip Anywhere. Also, with the refueling, I have the manual refueling. So when I pull up to a pump or a tank or anything like that, I have to get out of the tractor and actually activate the refueling. Same with manual attach. I also have manual discharge on the combines, on the harvesters. So, you can't just pull over top of a trailer and it just automatically starts to dump the crop in. You have to actually activate that, along with some other stuff. Let's see, what else? I've adjusted the maintenance cost because I've always felt like that was extremely too high in the game. So I've got the maintenance cost and painting cost mod installed, which is another script mod. So you can adjust the cost of your maintenance and how often you have to do maintenance intervals. Now, with farming equipment or any industrial equipment, your maintenance intervals are going to be pretty frequent because it's important to make sure that stuff is still running. So we're doing maintenance costs is cranked down, but the maintenance intervals is all the way up. Same with the paint intervals. So we got dynamic field prices, enhanced animal system, loan system, slip destroys fields, as well as rain pain, as well as a mod called no trespassing, which means if I drive over a field that is not mine and I destroy the crops, then I get penalized financially for that. I don't know what the cost is for that, but anyways, this is all stuff that we can discuss, later on. This episode, I don't know how long this episode's gonna be, but I do want to go ahead and jump into getting things going, and then as we're going, I will talk more about what to expect in this series. So here at the shop, this is a good time to kind of jump into some of the rules. So I have a couple of rules in place. We're going to start with nothing. All right, no teleporting. I have to either walk to where I'm going or use a taxi or cab, whatever you want to call it. And this was actually an idea that I got from another fellow YouTuber who I consider a close friend of mine, and his name is Rusey. And if you don't know who that is, you're living under a rock. Go watch his channel. He's amazing, great farming content, and just an all-around good dude. So I kind of stole your idea, bro. I'm sorry, giving you full credit for it. Yeah, so here is the taxi. Now, I'm not using the same taxi that he's using in his series, but this is what I found on Mod Network. It's called the Duster. I don't know. Anyways, yeah. So this can only be used to get me to where I need to go when it's too far to walk. I have prices set. It can cost anywhere from 25 to 100 zloty, depending on where it is, and we'll just kind of play that, as we go on how much it's going to cost us. Obviously, if it's from one end of the map to the other, it's going to be on the high end. So also, since I have mud mod and a lot of like the REA wheel stuff, center of gravity, I have the ability to get stuck or flip pretty easily. And if you have followed my content for any amount of time, then you know I like to flip things. Not intentionally. Sometimes intentionally, but most of the time not intentionally, but that's not the point. So, yes, there is a recovery vehicle here. We could always put the new forks that are in this premium edition on the front of this. As you can see, the tag says shop use. This is going to be shop use only. So, this is for whatever I get stuck, and the cost of that for basically a tow service, it's going to be $150 or 150 zloty every time I get stuck. It's going to be 50 base cost for if I run out of fuel, plus the fuel cost itself, which I should have actually put a fuel service truck in here and an actual service truck. I might do that eventually. And then for breakdowns, because I do have the advanced maintenance mod in here, so there's possibilities of breaking down. It's going to be $100 service fee or call out fee, plus the repair cost. So that is that with that vehicle. Obviously, the forklift is just going to be shop use only. And then over here, I am implementing a delivery system. So if I do not have a vehicle to come and retrieve items from the shop, then I can bring the taxi down and pay the fee for it, and then load the equipment up on either one of these trucks. So this is for obviously drivable equipment or implements, if you will, delivery. And this is for goods. So, pallets and whatnot. And maybe even implements. There's some implements that you could probably just stick up there like a bucket or whatever, you know what I mean? So there are going to be delivery costs with that. It can cost anywhere from 25 to 500 depending on what is being delivered. And if I order something before noon, then I can get it delivery same day. If I order anything after noon, then it's delivery next day. Just to add a little bit more realism, because certain, like, I'm thinking like auto shops, auto parts stores here in the US do that. If you order before a certain time, then you can get it same day. If you order after a certain amount of time, then you have to wait next day. Kind of an idea. So yeah, as far as that here at the shop, that is it. Let's go ahead and jump into, see, we are almost 15 minutes in to this episode here. Let's go to contracts here. And so fertilizing is always a good route. We obviously will need to lease or borrow the equipment. I also have advanced or better contracts installed. So let me just say this right now. With the mods, I have just under 500 mods installed in this one single save. I'm not going to list them, so let's not ask for them in the comments. If there's one specific mod that you have questions about, and I see the comment, then I may chime in because like some of these mods I won't even know which ones they are. I just downloaded a bunch of mods and slapped them in here. But if I know which one you're asking about, then I'll go in depth about it, but I'm not going to provide a list. I'm not going to provide download files. Everything that you see in this playthrough is available in the mod hub, whether that be for PC or console. I don't know. I don't play on console, so I don't know which one's a crossplay. This is the only mod that is not available on the mod hub. And the reason I went through Mod Network to get this is because Mod Hub didn't have a vehicle that I felt was suitable to be kind of like a taxi slash Uber type vehicle. So that's that. Everything else here you see is available in the Mod Hub. Again, whether it's for PC or console, I don't know. So let's jump back in here. And let's go ahead and just... Field 90. Where is Field 90? There's 91. There's 90. That wouldn't be too bad. That would not be too bad at all. So we could go ahead and take this. Let's go ahead and buy this. Or not buy this, but borrow the equipment. And for the refilling, for the materials, there's something that I'm gonna do for that. I'll explain that here in a minute. So we have Field 90. Obviously, with better contracts, I can accept multiple contracts at a time. So I'm thinking we can go ahead and just snag up all of these fertilizing contracts, and that should get us started pretty well. Alright, let's go ahead and do that, and let's go ahead and do that. Did I just accept the cultivating? No, it's all fertilizing. Okay, so here we are with our leased or borrowed equipment, rather. Let's go ahead and jump in and get things rolling. You may see the game stutter here and there, and that is because I have not really been loaded into this map for very long, so it is still caching in all the textures and all of that. Why can I not attach to this weight? Oh. Wow. What a bozo. I keep forgetting that I have the manual attach in already, and also I have the no more automatic lifting mod installed. So yes, I have to raise and lower the implements myself. Alright, let's go ahead and get this. There's that and that. Okay. I'm very surprised that I remembered how to hook all of that up. Yeah, so on keyboard it's Q to attach, and Z, just a single tap Z, or Z, depending on where you are from, on the keyboard, or you can hold it for the air hoses, single tap for the PTO. That is that. Now, I do not have a steering wheel, pedals, shifter box, or, button box, or nothing like that anymore. I ended up selling all of that, simply because I just didn't see any purpose on keeping it. Although it does, make things more immersive with the game. I decided to get rid of it. Sold all of it because I wanted to upgrade it anyways, because Logitech actually just came out with a new wheel and pedal and all that. So I may end up picking that up, but there's a sim setup that I want to get instead of just attaching it to my desk. So for... how do you... Yeah, there we go. That's the button. Alright, for this... for the contracts and whatnot, what we're going to do is we're going to go in here to our Easy Dev mod, to our vehicles. We are going to fill with fertilizer. and we're going to call that done. Obviously, we didn't pay for it or anything like that. So once we are done with the contract, we are going to empty out the remainder of the fertilizer. So there's going to be no cost adjustment or nothing like that going on with the contracts. This is another idea that I kind of stole from Rusey. Sorry, brother. You got some great ideas. So full credit to you for having this idea, which is a fantastic idea, because I've always felt, the same way about it, where it was like, it just didn't seem right. You know what I mean? So we do have precision farming on, as you can see. So hopefully the crop destruction does not take place too much during this right here. Let me zoom out just a little bit here so you can see a little bit better. Now, luckily these are skinny fields. You can see I'm destroying the field just a little bit from the tire slip. So yeah, I've always felt like it was a little bit weird that you have to purchase the product yourself. Now I can understand if you're like a like here in Florida, there's a lot of lakes and ponds and rivers and stuff like that. So like golf courses will hire companies to come out and spray herbicide around the ponds and whatnot. So obviously that company would provide their own equipment and their own product to spray. And so there's certain points where yes, it can make sense to provide your own product, but yeah, we're not going to go that far in depth with it. We're just going to fill the implement with what we need, apply it, and then get rid of it, so there's no cost adjustment or anything like that. There's no reimbursement for the materials, and yeah, we don't have to worry about it. So, and obviously we have $0 or 0 zloty, and we have to make some money before we can buy anything anyways. I've been rambling on here for about 22 minutes about really nothing at all. No, I'm just kidding. This is good. This is good. I feel pretty good hitting the record button and actually, getting back into this after a long break. Now, while we're doing all of this, because we have 3 fields that we need to get done, let's talk about some rules, some other rules that I have set for this series. So obviously, I have talked about no teleporting using a cab system, no super strength, only in emergency situations. And emergency situations being like something is just so beyond stuck that our recovery vehicle just can't do it. So we would use the super strength to get it out, but we would still charge ourselves for the recovery fee. If that makes sense. So, again, with this being a realistic type series, we had to, even though we were done with the field before actually covering the entire field with product, I went ahead and finished that up. We only got a couple of spots of damage at crop, so hopefully it doesn't penalize us for that on the contracts. Now, if we were to veer off to the right and drive into that field right there and destroy some crops, then obviously we would get penalized for it. So yeah, let's get this back on over to the shop and oh yes, there's some lag. That's the lag I was looking for. Delicious. I'm gonna go ahead and show you now. We're gonna go ahead and empty, because see, if I was to, I'll show you what I'm talking about here. If I was to go in and try to turn in this contract right now, if we go into here, and there's our complete contract. So reimbursement would be 66,000 zloty for fertilizer, and obviously we paid nothing for the fertilizer. Now, if we go in here and we hit empty, now we have absolutely no fertilizer in there whatsoever, and you can see we now get a reimbursement of 0. So there's no missing crops or nothing, obviously, because we were fertilizing, and it's going to deduct our leasing cost for the equipment. Now, realistically, maybe a farmer just doesn't have the equipment to get a job done on their field, which is why they're contracting it out. So you may have to provide your own equipment or lease the equipment. But let's say you're a contractor, freelance contractor doing farm work. Typically, a farmer's going to already have that equipment on their farm, so I could justify giving myself back that 1859, but I'm not going to, simply because I don't want to make it too easy on me financially. I want this series to last a little while, at least. I don't know how many episodes this is going to go for. Obviously, we want to get into the new crops, which is going to be carrots, parsnips, and what's the other one? Red beet. I almost said beetroots, but beetroots have already been in the game. But red beet, which are root crops, which is going to be nice. Plus all of the new production included with those items, or with those new root crops. All right, so. So again, I had to drive this back to the shop because, I don't have a vehicle or nothing. So, let's go ahead and jump into our contracts here. And we will go ahead and collect that. There we go. We now have 15,238 zloty. So, and by the way, if you're from Poland, please do chime in and let me know if I butcher anything at all, or if there's something else that I could do that is possible in Farm Sim to kind of add a little bit more realism and immersion. That is something that you guys do over there in Poland. I am using kilometers, Celsius, and hectares, and all of that stuff. So I've actually done a little bit of research before actually starting this up, because I want it to be as realistic as I could possibly make it. Now, this is a manure spreader, so I wonder if I need to fill this with manure. I don't think you can put fertilizer in here. We'll go ahead and hook up to that and get that raised up. What am I doing? I was pulling in front of the tractor like I was going to hook up to that. But yeah, if you live in Poland and you have some, tips and stuff like that on how to make it a little bit more realistic and a little bit more immersive, to, make it feel like I am actually working in Poland, kind of a thing, you know what I mean? Stuff that you guys do over there in farming, please do chime in. Drop it down in the comments. And if I butcher anything, any pronunciation or anything like that, please feel free to butcher me in the comments. Nicely, though, please. Yeah, so... Alright, so this one... I can't remember how this worked. So, which one gave me... So there's 41 and 22. So let's go ahead and check out the map again. I feel like it's staring me right in the face. There's 41. There's 41 right there. So it's about half the size of 90 that we just did. Where's 20? There's 22 right there. Long, skinny field. So... I guess it really doesn't matter. I'm going to say that 22 was the one for this right here. Yeah, I think so. And I think that over there was actually for field 90. It doesn't matter. You can use all this equipment for whatever. you so desire. So there's separated manure and there's manure. We're just gonna fill this up with manure, just plain old dookie. We're just gonna, yeah, there we go, just a big old smelly pile. I'm just gonna stop. I'm sure you guys don't want to hear about big old steamy piles of dookie. So that right there that you're seeing, all that wobbling, is due to the center of gravity mod, the REA center of gravity. And I may end up uninstalling that one because I do remember using it in the past, and it was causing way too much issues. Like the center of gravity is far too sensitive. You know what I mean? So now, obviously, this right here, it is a loaded, skinny, short wheelbase cart, spreader. So obviously, the center of gravity is going to be much smaller and higher. So little movements like that could possibly cause it to tip fairly easily. So we'll see how it goes. If it gets to the point where it's too much of a hassle, then I will remove that mod, but I will keep everything else. Alright, so here we are in our field. See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying right there? That, yep. Yeah, so, it's stuff like that. Like, I wasn't going fast at all. I was just driving up a hill and almost had a poo spill, which would not have been great. So yeah, let's go ahead and I need to unfold the tool first. I knew that. What a rookie. Crop is reserved for contract work. Yes, I understand that. Oh. That's oh my god. This is going to take absolutely forever with this because, oh my goodness. We'll go ahead and just place down one pass of this, I think. And there you go. You can see the REA stuff coming into play. A little bit of tire slip and whatnot coming into play, struggling up the hill. Yeah, that is a 2-meter spread width, and it misses the center row. I'm gonna go ahead and stop right there. Is there a way? So there's fold manure, deactivate automatic application rates, change of nitrogen reference value. No. So it looks like our best bet is just going to be to use the other equipment back at the shop. So we're going to go ahead and just empty out the manure from this and go grab that other spreader. Oh my god. Almost spilled poo all over that dude's field. That would not have been good. So, yeah, let's go back to the shop, grab the other equipment. We'll empty out this real quick. I want to do this on camera for you guys so you can see that I'm not trying to cheat the system or anything like that. We are going to go ahead and empty that of the doo-doo. And we will go ahead and fold that up as well. You can see how it's not as top-heavy now that it's empty. So, it's little stuff like that I did not like about the center of gravity. I've always thought it was a little bit too sensitive. But yeah, anyways, so also there are collectibles in this map, and we are going to be collecting those collectibles. They are golden apples, and if you actually look at that little island with the gazebo looking thingy, and there's 2 trees, just across the bridge back there, the apples will appear on those trees, much like in Silver Run Forest. When you collect the wood carving pieces, it shows up in the gallery in town, which is always a nice little feature to be able to view your findings, if you will. So let's go ahead and get this thing parked. We're at about 35 minutes or so in this episode already. And, yeah, we'll knock this out real quick and come back whenever. I don't want to make this episode like super duper long. Maybe I push it to 45 minutes, or I go ahead and cut it here and come back when we're done with contracts. I don't know. So far, this has been kind of like a no edit video. I don't think I'm gonna put any cuts or anything in this video. I may just leave it. And I totally forgot what the button was to raise the implement there for a second. So, you know, don't judge me. Alright. There we go. And we will go ahead and get that raised up like that. And there's no button to open that manually. So we're going to go ahead and just fill that up with solid fertilizer. There we go. You can see it sagging down now. And we'll head on over to those two fields, get them fertilized, and we'll come back whenever I am finished with those and see what our final income is for day 1 of the survival. Plus, we'll go over just a few more of the rules that I have set because I just realized I did not go over all of them. Alright, and there we go. That is complete. So on our drive on back to the store to turn this final contract in, let's talk a little bit more about the rules. So, recap real quick. No teleporting, cap system, no super strength, emergency situation only. Start with nothing, which we've already done. The shop forklift for shop use only. And okay, so here's one. Yes, when it comes to productions, I am not going to use my farmland. I'm going to do this a little realistic here and think about zoning regulations. Okay, I don't know what the zoning regulations are in Poland, but here in the US, you know, for industrial or commercial usage and residential usage and farmland agricultural usage, there are different zoning regulations on where you can actually have those types of property. So obviously you wouldn't want a gigantic industrial plant in the middle of your residential suburban neighborhood. You know what I mean? So that's why those zoning regulations exist here. Anyways, without getting too far off topic there, or down a rabbit hole about zoning regulations, basically I am going to have to purchase a plot of land in town, so somewhere along, you know, this main strip. And I actually already have a plot of land picked out for, you know, what I'm going to be purchasing to do the productions, and it should be enough for the productions that are not already on the map, because I believe I'll take a look at the productions here in a minute, and I'll show you the plot of land that I'm thinking about. Again, I don't want to drag on this episode too long, but yes, so I'm gonna have regulations on where I can put my productions down. There are 2 productions already available on the map to do all of that. So before we turn in all of this, I'm going to show you once again. We are emptying out that remaining fertilizer, and we're going to save, obviously, because this game loves to save whenever I'm recording. We're going to go down to contracts, and we're going to go ahead and collect. We're getting 0 reimbursement. 0 reimbursement on this one as well. Boom. There we go. We have 28,851 zloty. And that is where things are going to wrap up for work today. Now let's take a look in the map real quick. And let's go to farmland. 97, right down here, would be perfect. It is 182,653. 182,653. It is down 23.3%. I do have the uh, dynamic field prices, so it fluctuates up and down, which is also a good point to point out. I also have I think it's called dynamic fuel prices or something like that. I don't know. But basically, the fuel prices are going to fluctuate as well. So that's interesting. Something new. So yeah, 97 is 182,653 right now. So obviously that could go up or down. So it may not be that price at the time that we're going to be going to buy it. Now I do also have auctions installed, so there is a chance that this area will come up for auction. And I believe there's like some sort of a notification that comes up for that. So yeah, 97. It's right next to a dairy, which is just a sell point, and it's right next to a soup factory, which we can purchase. The soup factory is part of the new expansion, and then also up here we have the preserved food factory. Now this is already kind of positioned in a place that would be acceptable as far as zoning. Of course, up here looks to be a little bit more residential, so I would say that would need to be down here somewhere. So we could say we cannot buy that preserved food factory and we have to buy our own and build it down here. There's already a soup factory that we can purchase right there. And then as far as that goes with the productions, if we go into factories, there's all the platinum stuff. Premium expansion. We have a bakery, which there's already one on the map, which we've already had bakeries in the game. This is just a more Polish style bakery, which is kind of cool. Then we have a dairy, which is down there by where we are at, which means we can purchase this and build it down, or we could probably purchase the. I didn't see a purchase point down there at that one, so maybe we could build our own and do dairy, which we've already had dairies. There is a potato processing plant, which there's already one on the map, and it's pretty far out there because now we can do potato chips, which is kind of fun. So there is also the preserved food factory. And then we have a soup factory, which is already one on the map. Zip, zip, zip. I'm not even going to try to... Oh, Zoop. Is it Zoop? Is that so instead of soup with an S-O-O-P, you say Zoop? It almost sounds Italian. Yeah, anyway, soup factory. There's that, and then we also have a spinnery, which I absolutely love the way this building looks. Oh my goodness. I just love that old 1800s, architecture look. It's amazing. Anyways, so we got pumps and hoses and all that stuff. Now I do have some mods installed. I have a Polish corn dryer. I do have Maize Plus installed. As well as my TMR mixers and all of that stuff. So, there's a couple of productions that we could place down. And on that plot of land down there. That is what we're going to have to do. We have to buy that plot of land before we can buy and build our own productions. Delivery system, we've already gone over that. Sleeping is only available at a house that we either own or that we are paying rent for, which the rent thing I also kind of sort of stole from Rusey. I'm sorry, man. But yes, so like a house, like I wouldn't necessarily say this one because it's kind of got like a farm attached to it. But, we could find something, or maybe if that's a hotel over there, then we could do like a hotel. Now I did mark down that a hotel, if we play the whole hotel thing, then it would cost 80 zloty per night. I don't know how accurate that is, but that's about right for like a cheap hotel here in the U.S. But and I mean like super cheap. Like this, we're talking like Roach Motel. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that is the sleeping, and then the tow service we've already gone over. And that is it really for the rules. Now, as far as the first person, in cab and third person view, I'm going to kind of, bounce back and forth between that. I do want this to be realistic, but I also want it to be enjoyable for myself and for other viewers. So if I'm in cab all the time, you can't really see any work being done. It's very hard because the mirror system in Farm Sim is absolute garbage. I'm sorry, Giants, I love you, but please fix the mirrors to where we can adjust them and they have better FOV. It's yes. Anyways, yeah. So that is that. So we finished out today with 28,851 zloty, and we are looking very, very good. Got 3 contracts done, and kind of talked a little bit about what this series is going to bring, and checked out the map a little bit along the way. And yeah, so that is going to do it for this episode, you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. Thank you so much for sticking around. If you did all the way to the end, you're amazing. I love your face. Never change. I'll see you guys in the next one.